the lowest number we've had in many years. And again, being helped a lot by the length of our wall, which is going to be complete very soon. So, Chad, say a few words, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. And we're here today as a testament to your leadership and determination to secure our nation's borders. In recent weeks, as you mentioned, our country has witnessed an all-out attack against our law enforcement. Thankfully, you have not stood idly by. Instead, you're supporting the brave law enforcement officers who sacrifice so much for all of us every day. And nowhere is that support as important as it is here at the southwest border. Border security is homeland security, and the first priority of any nation is to ensure the sovereignty by protecting the integrity of its borders. Mr. President, you have disregarded the ineffective conventional wisdom put forth by folks in D.C. and have instead listened to your operators. And they have been very clear. They want an effective and lasting border wall system. And you've responded by making available over $15 billion to fund this critical capability. And so your support of the men and women of DHS and CBP is beyond comparison. Others, such as General Simonite and Commissioner Morgan, will talk to you about the attributes of the wall. But let me just focus on a few key issues that you also brought up that goes into securing our borders. Not only the border wall system, but we are also closing loopholes that have served as magnets over the last 3 years, enticing migrants to take a very dangerous journey north to the U.S. And enter our country illegally. We have entered into a number of game-changing agreements with our Northern Triangle partners to stem the flow of illegal migrants as well. We've demanded, you specifically have demanded Mexico step up their efforts, and we're seeing more and more migrants being turned around at Mexico's southern border before they reach our own. We're also addressing the abuse, as you mentioned, of the asylum system, clamping down on the use of frivolous asylum claims to illegally obtain work authorization here in the U.S. And we're also disrupting and dismantling dangerous cartels by leveraging the unique capabilities of the United States Coast Guard as well as the United States Navy. And we're attacking these criminals where they're most vulnerable, and that's at the sea. And perhaps most importantly, you took decisive action to restrict travel to the U.S. during COVID-19. And you've taken recent action to put American workers first as we reopen the economy. So, Mr. President, I want to thank you once again for your support of the men and women of DHS, also for your support of law enforcement across the country, but particularly here along the southwest border. We look forward to continuing our work on the border wall system and making the border even more secure.
Thank you very much. You know, when we first came, there was a thing called a caravan. And you'd have caravans, you'd have these massive amounts of people coming up, and they'd be coming from sometimes Honduras or Guatemala, El Salvador, other countries. They'd come through those countries sometimes, but thousands and thousands of people. I guess the largest one we saw was maybe 15,000. That's a lot of people. Yeah, very dangerous for those people, too. Things that happened on that journey up were brutal, and it was a long journey. But we don't have that anymore because they know they can't get through. And when they know they can't get through, they don't want to go through that. So, you know, we've told other countries you can't do that. You can't have caravans, and they listen to us. So it was it's a big difference right now, tremendous difference. Mark, please.
Yes, sir. So a couple things. First, I want to echo what the Secretary said, sir. I want to say, as Commissioner of CBP, thank you. Thank you from early on. You listened, where others before you had not. I think Brandon Judd could testify to that early on, right? Brandon, he was engaging you, and you engaged the experts who are on the front lines every day, risking their lives for this country, and you asked them, what do you need? And one of the things they said is, we need an effective border wall system. And Mr. President, you have delivered that. And to echo what the Secretary said too, we also concur that border security is national security. It's just common sense. We have to know who and what is coming through our borders and to our borders, and we have to be able to defend that. And with every new mile of new wall system, the operational capacity of CBP, specifically Border Patrol, is increased. Our ability to enforce the rule of law has increased. Our ability to maintain integrity in the immigration system has increased. Our ability to improve border security has increased. And our ability to shape and drive the behavior of the cartels has also increased. Our ability to impede, deny, and stop the vast threats that we have increased because of your leadership and providing us the tools like the wall system. And I think this is also important. And we've talked about this before. It's not just a wall. I keep saying wall system on purpose because what you have delivered is something that has not been delivered before. It's not just a bunch of steel in the ground. It's that plus access roads, technology, other attributes that really makes it an effective wall system and gives us a capability that we have not had before. And that's why I stay true to the fact when I'm asked, the 220 miles of wall system we have in right now are 220 new miles of wall system that gives us an enhanced capability that we never had. Stopping drugs at the border, that's what we should do. That helps reduce the tens of thousands of American citizens have died every year at the hands of the cartels smuggling drugs across this border. Stopping human smuggling at the border prevents and reduces the ability of women and children to be lost, abandoned, and further exploited by the cartels. Stopping criminals and gangs at the border reduces violent crime in every city in this country. Stopping infectious disease like COVID-19 at the border has saved countless lives, and that is due to your leadership. And that's why we say all the time that every town, city, and state is a border town, border city, border state. Everything that touches our border touches every city, town, and state in this country. And that's why we have said, and we will continue to say, borders matter, the wall matters. And I want to end by saying a special thanks also to General Todd Semonite. It's been an incredible relationship that we've had. His wall team, as we call it, and the CBP's wall team, we've worked together for the past few years making this happen. And I am 100% convinced that we will reach that 450 miles by the end of the calendar year.